This is Sunday, June 3rd. I have taken advantage of some availability at Porto's Cove, and I've booked a couple of days off. This site is notoriously hard to get into because you can see that the scenery is spectacular. I think this is my third or fourth trip to Porto Cove. The campground is on that spit of land that you see right there. It's very nice. There's probably about maybe 45 sites or so. They've also got walk-in tenting. This is the day use area here at Porto Cove, or one of the two. One's more predominantly for diving and this is for picnicking. I've come here a couple of times and just parked the motorhome in one of these spots, spent a few hours in the sun. It's really quite nice. This is the Porto Cove Dive Park. It's very, very popular. This parking lot here is full of people who are here diving, and just in behind this tree to the left there's some sort of an instructional class going on. There's a sunken ship or something down here, but I don't quite know. It's right out there somewhere around those buoys, but I don't know what size it is or how long it's been there. So these are the Olympic Legacy cabins at Porto Cove. They were built for the Olympics. They're really, really, really nice. You'd just love to have one of these as your own private little cottage. I think they go for $199 peak season per night and about $139 off season per night. This is one of the Olympic Legacy cabins from the front side. It's really, really nice. This is a hardcore log cabin. Those are big, big logs. I've looked through the windows. The inside is actually quite small. There's a little living area, a little tiny sort of hotel style kitchen, a loft, a little bedroom, and a little bathroom. Very, very adequate though, and literally right on the side of the mountain. Very nice. It's not a spectacular day. It's spitting a little bit. The sun is trying really, really hard to come out, but a place like this, it's probably one of the few places you could find where it's probably almost as nice when it's overcast as when it's sunny. Nothing beats full-on sun, but this sort of this gray, cloudy, misty atmosphere we've got today, maybe it's a bit more dramatic, a bit more interesting. So I'm on the Sea to Sky Highway. I'm about maybe 8 or 9 kilometers from south of Squamish. I've cycled out from Porto Cove about 12 or 13 kilometers with a great deal of challenging uphill and some downhill. I've decided that the Sea to Sky Highway is not a highway that is intended for cyclists. Even though there's lots of signs about cycling and sharing the road, the shoulder is very narrow. You're sort of sandwiched between a cliff and trucks and everything going by very quickly. So there's no way to get out of nowhere to get out of the way if you had to. This is Furry Creek on the Sea to Sky Highway. I've cycled up this hill already. Now it's time to go down. It was a real challenge coming up, and I've done this grade of hill 3 times on this ride, and I've got one more to go before I'm back in Porto Cove. One of the interesting things about Porto Cove is it's trapped between a mountain and an ocean, and there's not a lot of room for the train to get through, so the train runs literally right beside the campground. 2 paddle boarders way out there in Howe Sound. I don't know how they keep their balance, but they look pretty stable. That's the ferry dock, I guess you could call it, at Porto Cove. I don't really know what it's for. It's obviously no longer in use. There's benches and you can walk out there. It's like a little boardwalk thing. But there's still a ramp and everything. Everything still looks like it would function, and it doesn't look all that old. I've been in Vancouver for 20 years and I've never known it to be in use. So this is my site at Portal Cove, Site 32. Portal Cove is one of the only provincial parks I've been to that actually has electricity. So it just makes it that much nicer. I don't have a generator and I have to go on batteries, so my batteries are kind of shot this year. It's a better view of Anvil Island. This is a super pretty little cove at Portal Cove. It's obviously nicer when the tide is in. Right now it's a bit of a mud flat, but when the tide is in and in the morning and the water's calm, it's really, really beautiful. This end of Portal Cove is directly under the new Sea to Sky Highway. You can hear the traffic, it's not too bad. This highway is a bit of an engineering feat. There's not a lot of room between the ocean and the mountain, and they had to turn this from a very dangerous road into a high-speed regular highway to transport a lot of folks between Vancouver and Whistler during the Olympics. They did a phenomenal job. It's almost like driving on a roller coaster. I've often wondered why I feel a little bit more nervous driving the motorhome on this road, and I finally figured out today that all the other twisty, windy roads that I drive the motorhome on are usually secondary type roads, and you're just going at a very moderate speed. This you drive at highway speed, and yeah, it's a little twisty, windy up and down, and a little bit nerve-wracking sometimes. This is Portal Cove from the opposite end, looking north towards the dive park and the old ferry wharf. I'm actually looking directly at the motorhome. I don't know, you can always tell because it's got that, what I call the circus tent red awning, which I think is a character.